You're sitting there, someone just asked you a simple question in English, and your mind goes completely blank. You know the answer. You understood the words, but your mouth, it refuses to move. And in that exact moment, you think, why is this so hard for me? Now imagine something different. In 30 days, you still won't speak perfect English, but something inside you will change so much that even you will feel surprised when you speak. Let's talk about what actually happens when you practice English for 30 days in a real, simple, practical way, because nobody tells you the truth about this journey. On day 1, you feel slow, very slow. You translate everything in your head. How do I say this in English? Even simple sentences feel heavy, like your brain is carrying too much weight. And when someone speaks fast English, you panic a little. You smile, but inside you are lost. But here is something important. Even on day 1, something is already happening. You are becoming aware, and awareness is the first small win. Most people stop before this stage, but you didn't. Now imagine day 3. Something small starts to shift. You begin noticing common phrases. Words repeat, patterns appear. You hear "how are you doing?" and suddenly it feels familiar, not scary. And you try something simple like, "I am fine, thank you." Maybe it's not perfect, but you said it without freezing. That is your first mini win. And it feels small, but your brain remembers it. Now here's a question for you. What if speaking English is not about knowing more words, but about using the same words repeatedly until they feel like yours? Hold that thought, because day 7 feels different. Something strange happens. You start predicting sentences. When someone says, "Where are you?" your brain already guesses going or from. That's your listening improving. Not because you studied harder, but because your brain is adapting. And here is something nobody tells you. Your brain loves repetition, not pressure. So when you keep exposing yourself to English for a few days, it starts to recognize patterns naturally. Now let's go deeper into your real life. Imagine you are in a shop. The seller says, "How can I help you?" Before you would panic. Now you pause, just 1 second, and you say, "I'm looking for something simple, not perfect, but smooth." And that moment, you feel something new. Control, not fluency yet, but control. And that is powerful. Now let's jump to day 10. This is where something emotional happens. You start getting frustrated, but also excited, because now you can say basic things, but you still cannot express your deeper thoughts. So your mind feels stuck between 2 worlds. But listen carefully. This stage is not failure. It is transition. You are moving from translation thinking to English thinking, even if it's slow. And here is a secret most learners miss. When you feel stuck, you are actually growing the most. Now let's continue. Day 14, 2 weeks in, something changes in your listening. Before, English sounded like noise. Now you catch words. Not everything, but pieces. And those pieces are enough to understand meaning. You hear someone say, "I was thinking about going," and your brain completes the idea. This is your comprehension building itself. And here is a powerful moment. You start repeating phrases without thinking. "Let me see. I think so. That sounds good." These are small phrases, but they are building your fluency backbone. Because fluency is not big grammar. It is small, automatic phrases. Now imagine a real-life moment. You meet someone. They ask, "Where do you work?" Before, you would freeze. Now you say, "I work in a small office." Simple, natural, calm. And guess what? They understand you. That is the real goal. Not perfection. Connection. Now let's go to day 20. Something powerful happens here. You stop translating everything. Not completely, but often. Sometimes your brain just responds. And you surprise yourself. You don't plan the sentence. It just comes out. That is your brain rewiring. And yes, it feels uncomfortable at first because you are losing the old habit of translation. But you are gaining something better. Speed. Now here is a question for you. Have you ever noticed that children don't translate when they speak their first language? They just speak. That's what you are slowly building. Now day 25. This is where confidence starts showing. You are still not perfect, but you are braver. You try speaking even when you are not 100% sure. And something amazing happens. People still understand you. Not because you are perfect, but because communication is bigger than grammar. And you realize something very important. You don't need perfect English to be understood. You just need clear, simple English. Now, let's go into a real situation. You are in a conversation. Someone speaks fast. You don't catch everything, but instead of shutting down, you ask, "Sorry, can you repeat that slowly?" And they do, and you understand more than before. That is confidence. Not knowing everything, but not giving up. Now day 28. Something emotional happens here. You start feeling proud, quietly. Not loud pride, but deep internal pride. Because you remember where you started. The fear, the silence, the confusion. And now you are speaking. Not perfectly, but you are speaking. And that matters more than anything. Now your listening is stronger. Your vocabulary is wider. But the biggest change is this. You are no longer afraid of English. You are getting used to it. And that is everything. Now let's talk about day 30. This is not magic. You don't wake up fluent, but you wake up different. When someone speaks English to you, you don't panic anymore. You listen. You respond. Even if slowly, even if simply, but you respond. And here is the truth nobody tells you. Fluency is not a destination. It is a habit. And after 30 days, you have built the habit. want you to imagine something. If 30 days can change this much, what about 60 days? What about 90 days? Your brain is not slow. It is just unused to English. But now it is waking up, and I want to leave you with this. The next time you feel stuck, don't stop. Just continue with small steps. One phrase, one sentence, one conversation. Because English is not learned in one big moment. It is built in small daily wins. And you already started. Now here is your challenge. For the next 30 days, speak a little English every single day, even if it's just to yourself, even if it feels awkward, even if it's slow, because one day you will speak without thinking, and you will remember this moment when everything started to change. Now breathe and tell yourself this quietly. I am improving every day, because you are, even if you don't see it yet. It is happening right now, and if you stay consistent, your English will not just improve, it will transform